Modern Guitar School is online. A very warm welcome to all of you. Today I'm starting my new signature series. That means I'll be showing you distinctive things from world-famous guitarists and explaining why guitarist XY sounds the way he does. We're kicking things off today with the incredible Nuno Bettencourt. If I had to name 5 guitarists, he would definitely be one of them. An incredible guitarist, also a good singer, and on top of that, he looks great too. So honestly, it's almost unfair what this guy brings to the table. And today we're going to analyze him, and I'll show you a lick that completely blew me away in the early 1990s when I heard this song for the first time. Get the funk out. Nuno was born on the 20th, September 1966, and at the tender age of 19 in 1985, he founded Extreme. The second release came out in 1990 with the mega hit More Than Words, which was an acoustic ballad, which was actually a bit untypical for the band. An American producer once told me a funny story about that when I was in the USA. He said that back then in the USA, there were huge lines in front of the CD shops, people who wanted to return their CDs, because after buying the Extreme album, they thought the whole CD would sound like the song More Than Words and were a bit shocked to find out it was, let's say, heavy funk rock or hard rock, more or less. And so they wanted to return their CDs. Since 2009, Nuno has also been working with Rihanna. This caused a bit of outrage in the guitar scene, but Nuno always says, "Hey guys, check out the show. It's really worth it, and you'll get plenty of great guitar work too." I can easily imagine that, though unfortunately I've never seen it myself. He is the sideman and also the musical director of the band. Another fantastic story about Nuno Bettencourt is the one with Ozzy Osbourne. I only found out about it recently. Years ago, Ozzy offered him the chance to be the guitarist for Ozzy Osbourne. He politely declined and later said that he didn't want to be a guitarist in a legendary band. He preferred to write his own story. What a fantastic statement. And Ozzy also spoke with great respect about Nuno, saying, "You were the only guitarist who ever turned down my offer." When Ozzy gave his farewell concert in mid-2025, he passed away 2 weeks later, Nuno even played Randy Rhoads' guitars. He took over Jakey Lee's part. Jakey Lee has arthritis in his fingers, but he still went on stage with Ozzy and did an amazing job. Especially considering that Nuno once turned it down, I found it even more impressive that he was called again and asked if he could take over the guitar parts. Alongside Zakk Wylde, who was also there, the second fantastic album Pornograffiti was produced. It came out in 1990 with the mega hit, by the way, produced by Michael Wagener, a German producer who during those years mixed and produced some of the biggest albums in the world that came out in the hard rock scene at that time. Among them was also the album by Extreme. Yes, and finally to wrap things up, Nuno was also this year, 2025, with the wonderful Rick Beato. And there he gave, I think, a 90-minute interview with Rick, and the two of them once again had a top-quality conversation. About mindsets, about guitars, about all their influences. Check it out, you can find it online at Rick Beato. Sorry, you can tell how excited I am, sorry. I hope that wasn't too much background information. But I think it might be quite interesting for you as well to know a bit about the people, what else they do, and what their history is. Okay, then let's move on to the distinctive lick from Get the Funk Out that I played for you in the intro. This is mainly about string skipping, about the large intervals that result from it, and all of that at breakneck speed with tapping. Nuno is also a big, self-confessed Eddie Van Halen fan. He also taps just like Eddie, using his index finger. I do it with my middle finger so I can keep holding my pick. But you should try out for yourselves what works best for you. There's really no right or wrong here. Alright, then let's get started. Let's first look at the harmonic structure. The whole thing is based on BB, C, S as in Sierra, and F as in Foxtrot. There isn't really an overall key for the chords. For the most part, the piece is in C mix Lydian. But that might be going a bit too far right now. So BB, C, S, and F. Nuno does the following. I'll show it to you here. When you have the sounding BB, he basically breaks it down with the left hand. Root note, third, fifth, root note, fifth, and he does all this in such a way that he also taps intervals of the chord with his right hand. That means he goes to the 15th fret. and plays the fifth there or taps the fifth there. Pulls off to the root note, hammers onto the second. Then he goes to the G string and taps on the root note. So you have this figure. Now he skips the B string, goes to the E string on the note F, which is again the fifth. Pulls off to the root note and hammers onto the third. So once again, very slowly tapping the 15th fret on the D string. Pull off to the 8th fret, hammer on 10th fret, tapping 15 on the G string. So what happens is he goes up and down. Here's an interesting part because he taps with his left hand, G string, 10th fret, so he doesn't pick the note but produces the sound through left hand tapping. Once again, slowly. So you move the figure up 2 frets because the chord also changes to C at that moment. And basically he breaks down the C major chord in the same way as before with the B flat. I'll show you that again slowly. What's refreshing about these licks are the large interval jumps. I really like that a lot. The speed, of course, is incredible. But these big jumps, so far from normal scale playing, where you can tell someone is just running up and down a scale in some pattern, here you have wonderful interval leaps. So then it moves to E flat and he actually plays the same thing again, but now he squeezes 9 notes into a quarter note. He probably didn't do that consciously, but I think he just played it as fast as he could. And while tapping, he created reference points for himself. These are located on the taps, and basically what he does is he plays. As I said, the same figure again. And then it goes up a whole step to F. That's basically the string skipping he uses in the solo. So let's move on to the practice tips. Very important, as always, when you're playing distorted guitar, you need good muting so your figure doesn't get muddy. And you do it as follows. Let's talk about the first figure, the B flat chord. The left hand is on the 8th fret of the D string. The left hand is so flat, you see, at a 45-degree angle that I'm touching the G, B and E strings and thus already muting them. Now place the heel of your right hand on the string so that you're resting on the E and A strings. So that's where your hand is resting. With this muting position, you can tap on the 15th fret of the D string. And you can hear that no neighboring string can resonate. The left hand mutes the upper strings, the heel of the right hand mutes the lower strings. So not from the visual perspective, we always talk in terms of pitch. When I say lower strings, I mean the higher pitch strings from the visual perspective. So now do the following preliminary exercise. You tap on 15. Pull off and hammer on with your pinky on the D string. Then practice the whole thing on the G string. Tap 15, left hand on 7 and 10. I've made a little practice track for you for this. The link is below the video. You can download it. There you'll also find the tabs for all the string skipping figures again, as well as these practice tracks. Then I'll show you how you can practice this once you can tap the basic patterns. First, one string, then the D and G strings. Then you connect both strings. Then you add the upper string as well. And that's how you proceed practicing each chord individually. First, focus on the basic technique, and once that's solid regarding muting and tapping, then you can connect all 4 chords and slowly tackle the solo. Okay, all that's left to say is, Bernd, thank you very much for the great guitar. I have a buddy who's a total Nuno fan, owns a bunch of Nuno guitars, and he said, for the workshop you have to use the original guitar, only then will it work, obviously. So thank you very much, it was an honor to be able to play your guitar. If you learned something new in this workshop, please give me a like, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell. I would be really happy, and it would be a wonderful recognition from you. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or requests, feel free to leave them in the comments below. I read through all of them and try to fulfill all your suggestions. As mentioned, you'll find the link to the backing tracks and the guitar profiles below the video, and to the PDF files so you can go through all these exercises again at home. That way you can practice optimally, so definitely download them. Just to mention briefly, you could probably do 20 workshops about Nuno. The man has so many brilliant tricks up his sleeve and an incredible playing technique. But today this was the Nuno workshop. Take some time to check out this guy, really listen closely to what he plays. It's truly top-level stuff. Alright, dear friends, I'm off to work on the next workshop. Have lots of fun playing guitar. We'll see each other next week for the next workshop. Take care until then. Ciao.